Hi everyone, LiberAnarchy here, and I was inspired by something somebody said to me in a PM to make a video about a specific topic. Are the anarchists really assholes? And I would say yes, some are, and some aren't so much. Now, first let me address the idea. Let me address all the armchair internet shrinks. Okay, there are some people in the anarchist movement, like Stefan Malinu, who put a lot of emphasis on psychology. And sometimes, even with Stefan Malinu, I want to say, look, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. However, there is a field of study called psychohistory, which examines psychology and the effects it has on history as a whole, and it looks at relationships between things like child abuse and war. And in some ways, I see some interesting, valid stuff going on. In other ways, I do just want to say, ugh, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Now, and so some people are going to put more emphasis on psychology and think of really wild, complicated, deep-seated interpretations for whatever it is you're saying or doing. You might, for example, make a video where you're ranting and raving at somebody, and it has nothing to do with your childhood. It just has to do with maybe you're flying off the handle, or maybe you're acting more angry than you really are, just because you want to be entertaining and you want to get subscribers, and that's kind of your shtick. You're not actually trying to make somebody feel bad because your parents made you feel bad when you were 4 or something, right? And then again, there are also situations where people are, well, you know, I've been abused and I felt powerless and I learned to get some kind of power by manipulating, and so I learned how to be manipulative, so I'm still manipulating now, and so in videos and chats and comments I say things that are really passive aggressive and manipulative. So sometimes you get things that are psychological, but oftentimes, in my opinion anyway, it's not rooted in the psychological. And then of course you have the internet pricks that pretend like they know something about psychology or sociology or some other field of study within the venue of mental health, and they just say a bunch of shit because they're just trolls and idiots, and that's what trolls and idiots do on the internet. Though some anarchists do put a fair amount of emphasis on psychology and how it affects your behavior. Now, as to the people that just... Okay. First let me address the people who... Some people are saying, well, do your research, you stupid noob, etc. People who say that, a lot of them are just trolls and they are trying to get you to react. As a YouTuber myself, sometimes I'll get a lot of, you know, add a girl type of comments, but I'll also get a fair amount of you suck, or you're fat, or what are you, like fucking 14 or something, because it's YouTube and trolls exist on YouTube and that's what people do. So if somebody's just saying, you stupid idiot noob, why don't you do your research, chances are they're trolling. Now there is another aspect to this, and that is the who will build the roads questions. Now, let me walk you through a scenario. Let's say you have somebody who is an anarchist. They've made 65 anarchist videos. Okay? On every video, somebody will ask, who will build the roads? In every video, you explain, well, people will build the roads. Clearly, there is a demand for roads, so there is any number of possible solutions for this problem of how roads will get built, such as privatization, which, by the way, road buildings in many places, if even indirectly, has been privatized. So private companies can certainly build the roads, and we don't need government extorting tax money from us. And then again, if you're not into capitalism and you're not into property, you could have communal efforts, people volunteering to build a road. After all, because if you have roads in your community, or in and around your community, you can trade much more easily. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. Roads are a good thing unless you're an anarcho-primitivist, then the question is a moot point. Anyway, roads are already built, so it's more a question of, in many places anyway, so it's more of a question of maintenance. So, and you explain this to your blue in the face and go through possible solutions, and you go over this and over this and over this, and you still get comments in every video saying, but who will build the roads? And so let's say this person's 66th video is about a stateless society and how roads will be built. And then you get another question that says, but who will build the roads? Or another assertion like, well, if we didn't have taxes, we wouldn't have roads. And it can be very, very frustrating. And then let's say somebody goes and makes a video saying, you use the roads, damn it, so sit down and shut up and deal with the state and the roads, yeah, the roads. And you've explained it and explained it and explained it till you're blue in the face. And then you see this video, and then you make a comment saying, do your research. I've covered this. Come to my channel. Watch it. Sorry, distracted. Anyway. And then the person who made the video of like, well, you need a state for roads, fools, says, well, you're just telling me to do the research because you don't want to tell me your opinion. Now that gets really frustrating, and that's why a lot of anarchists come off like, well, do your research, you stupid noob. What are you doing? And then, of course, there are people who probably aren't even anarchists who will say that just because they're trolling, okay? So, and see, this video isn't to any specific person, but it was inspired by a conversation I'm having with somebody in PMs, and if you know who that person is, we're not fighting, it's all very polite and everything, so, not like fake polite, but, he and I are on good terms, we're not fighting or anything, so, it's not like this is some kind of weird, crazy backhanded drama video. So, yeah, that's why a lot of anarchists come off as being assholes. Because there are a lot of things that have been covered, either in videos or on websites, etc. And there are a lot of people who won't do the research and yet will still make comments and will just make very tired, old arguments that actually have been refuted. However, that's not to say that in every situation, every argument is something that's already been refuted or at least addressed. I mean, it really just depends. So, yeah. So this is, why some of the anarchists come off as complete assholes. Okay, so I'm gonna hang out for a minute so I don't get cut off.